Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love. Today, I'm really kind of excited. We've got a great used unit, and it's a Superstar 4058, which is the bunkhouse models. Anybody that's been looking for a Super C, you know, it's tough to find a new one anywhere. You're putting an order in, waiting maybe 6 to 9 months. To get a 2021 with only 7,500 miles on it is a real treat for us. And while we're walking around the outside, there's a couple of things I'll point out about it. But first of all, Newmar, when they went to the 2022 models, they changed the chassis a little bit. And what it did, it went from 329 to 341 inches, and that allowed them to free up more space for storage by moving the inverter and the batteries and so forth. So this was a late model 2020 chassis, so it's got all those enhancements that normally you wouldn't find until the following model year. So we'll talk about those a little bit as we go around it. Let's start right here with the engine. Now, these are built on the 8.9 liter Cummins. It's the ISL. Happens to be a 350 horse with 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. If you're the type of person that works on them yourself, you'll appreciate how easy it is to get to all of your fluids, your air filter, your coolant, and so forth. If we take a look over here on the other side, you can see we've got our power steering fluid, our dipstick for the oil, the water separator fuel filter. And while we're talking about that, I'll point out that these Cummins engines have sort of a 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year maintenance schedule. Every 1 year, you want to change the oil and the filter. Every 2 years, they recommend you change your filter for the water separator. And then every 3 years, your air cleaner, which is on the other side, your air filter. So, you know, you kind of want to stick to that schedule as much as you can, and everything is accessible right here. Makes it very easy. Another thing I'll talk about, and it might be kind of hard to see here, but the unique thing about the Newmar Super Cs is they take that Freightliner chassis, and most companies bolt down the front end. You still have rear airbags. Newmar has figured out a way to have 4 airbags, you know, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And by doing that, you can kind of see that the cab and the coach are separated. There's a baffle inside, and it allows them to move independently. The reason they bolt down the front end is because you've got this, you know, long part of the house. These are made to tow 20, some 30,000 pounds on the bigger ones. And every other company locks down that front end. But Newmar keeps 4 airbags. If you stand when you're driving with 1 foot in the cab and 1 foot in the house, you'll feel them move separately. So it really does give you a smoother ride. One of the unique features when you get a Newmar. And if you ever are working on this and a big gust of wind comes up, it's not going to slam down on your head. It's got a nice dampening system there. So let's get this locked down. There we go. And we'll move around and go through the compartments on the other side first. Now, first of all, you can fuel them from both sides. This is one of the first places you'll notice the difference. When they lengthened this chassis 12 inches, they had the inverter over here and some other components taking up storage on the passenger side. They were able to move those over to the driver's side and free up more storage. And the nice thing about this is where you spend most of your time. We've got these great Girard roof awnings that span the whole length of the coach. There's a TV I'll show you out here. You can have a propane connect for your outside grill, but you want to be able to access your stuff from the passenger side. So you can see how this is cleaned up quite a bit. Nice felt finish in there. You've even got some room up on top. That hose there, by the way, is an air hose. You have a compressor on board. you might as well be able to use it. Over in this second compartment, you can see it's wide open. So you've got great storage here and even a little room up on the top to put some of your items. This is another very large compartment. Now, some of these units, you can put the outside refrigerator freezer in here. I believe it would fit in this one on a pull-out tray. Here is your outside TV, and this is a 43-inch TV with the Bose soundbar. Another nice feature, you can see you got your fresh water drain right there. So when it is time to winterize it or get the water out of it, you don't have to run around and find a valve in the water compartment. Another unique feature of the Newmar Super C models is the storage you get in the back. And if you look here, they've actually got a slide-out tray. And you can see they've got a few extra tiles here. This actually has tile from a King Air. I'll talk about that when we get inside. And you see your hitch there. Now, these come with a 3-inch heavy-duty hitch. You've got your 2-inch and your 2 5/16 ball. Again, they're rated at 20,000 pounds. Also in this compartment, you can see you've got your vacuum system. So you have your connections inside, but you can bring your hoses out here, vacuum this out. Most all of these compartments will have a 110 outlet. And these are your control modules for your slide out. If you ever need to call Newmar if you're having an issue, or maybe call Bill, our technical expert, with a slide issue, a lot of times they tell you just to unplug it right there, let it reset, you know, just like resetting your computer. After 10 or 15 seconds, plug it back in. 9 times out of 10, that can take care of your problem. And then in this final compartment, again, you see you've got pass-through storage up above. Light switch here for the back, but you also have a hatch release for the rear. And this gives you a nice storage area here. You can access items very easily, lawn chairs or things you might want to put up here. You've got a couple of racks here, you know, for tools or whatever. I've heard some people say this would be a great place to put your bar. Well, I'm not putting my liquor back here, and I don't want it warm and jiggly when I get to where I'm going. But it's nice to have this storage and very easy to open this hatch. Now, if you look here, you can see the previous owner put a reducer in. So we're going from 3 to 2.5 to 2-inch. So if you're pulling a boat or a regular trailer with a 2-inch insert, very easy to step that down. We do have our plug-in for a camera on the back. And then we have our 7-way plug. Also down here, we've got a 4-way. A lot of people that are pulling boats only have a 4-way plug. It's nice you don't have to use an adapter. So they've got all of the electrical outlets right here. And again, a great looking back. This is the M2 106 chassis. It does have 3-way camera system plus the 360 camera. And I'll point those out as we go inside, but you can see you've got 2 cameras up there. As we move around over here on the passenger side, again, look at the storage and the access you have here. You can put a lot of items in this back compartment where most other Super Cs, they're not a pass-through compartment. And they're very nicely finished. Move up to this compartment. This, by the way, is just a little cubby. They're keeping their sewer hose in this. And then this is our water compartment. As you can see, it's got a whole house filter there. The green you see in the line is the antifreeze. We do have these winterized. You have your hot and cold drains, a water pump switch right there. You know, you've got your black tank rinse and your city fill. And another nice feature is your water hose is on a power rewind. That makes it a lot easier when it's time to roll things up. This is our 8K diesel generator. That's enough to run both the ACs, microwave, everything you would need. And they're actually quite quiet. Up here you can see the battery compartment. Now we have 8 6-volt batteries here.